Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Halloween. Today is October 31st, 2018, and it is welcome to our very first Halloween special. No, there is nothing wrong with my face. This is blood on my face. Not real blood, unless you want it to be. Then yes, that's what we're going to start off with. So today, we are going to be covering the MLB World Series coverage. Obviously, the crown champions are the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox won the series 4-1. So going by each game, starting off with game 1 to game 5. So the Red Sox beat the Dodgers in game 1 8-4 on Tuesday the 23rd. The 24th, the Red Sox also beat the Dodgers 4-2. The Dodgers came back on their home opener in the World Series, beating the Red Sox in a final of 3-2. Going into the game 4, with Boston leading on top 3-1, the Red Sox go ahead and take the lead 9-6 over the Dodgers, and the clincher for the Red Sox. Final score out of game 5 from Dodger Stadium: Red Sox 5, Dodgers 1. Going off to the World Series coverage, or not the World Series, but the NFL coverage. The New England Patriots are on top of the division of the AFC East. 6 wins and 2 losses, following the Dolphins with an even 500, 4-4. The Jets are in third place, 3-5, and the Buffalo Bills are dead last in the AFC East, 2-6. Going on to the AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs are no longer perfect. They are 7-1 now, but still lead the AFC West. The Chargers follow 5-2. The Broncos are on top 3-5 in fourth place, and the Raiders with John Gruden 1-6 to end off the AFC West. The Steelers in the AFC North. The Steelers are 4-2-1, following the Bengals 5-3. The Ravens are an even 500 team, and the Browns. My Browns are not doing that great, as we all know. They are 2-5-1. Going off to the AFC South with the Houston Texans, they're 5-3-0. The Tennessee Titans are 3-4. The Colts are 3-5, and the Jaguars. But they're basically tied for third place. Going off to the NFC conference, the NFC East is led by the Redskins, following the Eagles 4-4, the Cowboys 3-4, and the New York Giants 1-7. Going off to the NFC West, another actually the best team in the league as of right now. Heading into their 9th game, they are 8-0. Your NFC West leaders, the Los Angeles Rams. The Seattle Seahawks are 4-3 for second place. Third place, 2-6, the Arizona Cardinals, and also my number 1 favorite team, not doing so good. They're 1-7 right now, heading into Thursday Night Football tomorrow versus the Oakland Raiders. Heading off to the NFC North, the Bears are 4-3, tied with the Vikings up in the top of the division. The Packers 3-3 are 3-1, I should say, are now in third place, and the Lions are 3-4-0. And last but not least, the NFC South with the New Orleans Saints 6-1. They are near perfect. The Panthers are 5-2, Falcons 3-4, and so are the Bucks. They are 3-4. That will do it for the NFL coverage. Obviously, with Thursday Night Football coming up, this is supposed to be on record in the Super Bowl era as the worst Thursday night primetime football game of its time, with the San Francisco 49ers 1-7, with the Oakland Raiders 2-6, or 1-6, I should say. They are both 2-13 combined heading into tomorrow night. So this should be an interesting one, and this also officially marks the last Battle of the Bay in football. So just like in baseball, there's Bay Bridge series. This one's the Battle of the Bay. The Oakland Raiders versus the San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium tomorrow night at 7, I think. Yeah, 7 o'clock. So I'll be somewhat bringing coverage for that game tomorrow. Also, congratulations to the Boston Red Sox for winning the World Series last year. Yes, as a Yankees fan, that's disappointing, but at the same time, I think they did really well this year. Obviously, next year, like the Vegas Golden Knights, they will not do that good next year. But who knows? Baseball, the sports world is a crazy thing. I just want to say thank you, and I will now turn it over to Nathan to do the NHL and AHL standings, news, and reports. Nathan, take it away, bud.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, of course, my name is Nathan, and we are going to get right into the NHL stats. The scores from last night. So, starting off from Raleigh, North Carolina, the Carolina Hurricanes played host to the Boston Bruins. The Bruins actually defeated the Carolina Hurricanes by a score of 3-2. Brad Marchand achieved 2 goals in this one, followed by David Pastrnak, and a 42 save performance by Yaroslav Halak. He now improves to 4-0-2, which, considering his age right now, is pretty remarkable. Moving on to Buffalo, New York, the Calgary Flames went into Buffalo and they took it in overtime by a score of 2-1. Matthew Tkachuk scored the overtime winner. Johnny Gaudreau added on a goal as well. Moving on to the Columbus Blue Jackets playing host to the Detroit Red Wings. The Wings actually beat the Columbus Blue Jackets by a score of 5-3. 9th overall pick in the 2017 draft, Michael Rasmussen scored his first NHL goal. In this one, he got his first. He got a commemorative puck to celebrate this momentous occasion. 34 saves for Jimmy Howard. He now improves to 2-5-2. Moving on to Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Penguins get doubled up by the New York Islanders by a score of 6-3. Jordan Eberle scored 2 goals in the game, as well as former Pittsburgh Penguin Thomas Kuhnhackl scoring for the New York Islanders as well. Moving on to the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec. The Dallas Stars defeated the Montreal Canadiens by a score of 4-1. Canadians are still doing pretty good this year at a record of 6-3-2. Carey Price only made 18 saves, so a little bit of a rough night there for the Canadians, obviously. The next game, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning playing host to the New Jersey Devils, a first-round rematch from last year. The Tampa Bay Lightning rout the New Jersey Devils by a score of 8-3. Corey Schneider only made 5 saves in that one before being pulled for Keith Kincaid. So it was unfortunate there. Braden Coburn with 2 in that one, as well as Nikita Kucherov scoring 2 in that one. Moving on to Smashville, the Nashville Predators, the first place in the Central Division. I'll get to the standings later. But the 9-3-0 Nashville Predators defeat the 5-6-1 Vegas Golden Knights by a score of 4-1. Ryan Hartman scoring 2 goals in the effort. Jussi Saros making 23 saves in the win. Moving on to the Oil Country in Edmonton, Alberta. The Minnesota Wild defeat the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 4-3. Connor McDavid actually scoring a pretty highlight reel goal. If you guys search up Connor McDavid's goal against the Minnesota Wild last night, it was pretty good. Moving on to Arizona, the 6-5-0 Arizona Coyotes taking on the 4-5-2 Ottawa Senators. The Arizona Coyotes actually defeat the Ottawa Senators by a score of 5-1. Alex Galchenyuk scores his first in a Coyote uniform. Moving on to Anaheim, California. The Anaheim Ducks unfortunately falling in this one by a score of 3-2. Pontus Aberg scoring 2, but it wasn't enough against the Philadelphia Flyers. And the result that Tristan isn't going to be too happy about, the New York Rangers defeating the San Jose Sharks in a shootout by a score of 4-3. Chris Kreider scoring 2 goals in the effort. Brent Burns, Timo Meier, and Thomas Hertl all scoring for the Sharks.
if I can make my little speech on that game, I was there for those of you that are in the area of San Jose for the New York Rangers versus San Jose Sharks game. That was honestly probably one of the best battles I've seen this season. Obviously, unfortunately, the Sharks did lose. The shootout is something that the Sharks were really never great at. Obviously, that game, scoring one goal each in the first period, nothing in the second, and that really, really intriguing third period, scoring 2 goals apiece, answering right back within a minute of each goal. That was awesome. That was some goals that I really wanted to see, and some goals that Sharks fans and Ranger fans, no matter what happened, got to see. That was something that was really impressive for me. Obviously, Martin Jones wasn't exactly on his shootout game, but obviously we have the rest of the season. The Sharks are 6-3-3, and the New York Rangers are 4-7-1. That's not surprising, especially when the New York Rangers have beaten the San Jose Sharks the last 2 times they've played each other. So, in other words, come back strong next week or tomorrow against the Blue Jackets at the SAP Center. That's going to be a great game to see as well. The Blue Jackets right now are let's see. Actually, Nathan, you'll bring the stats up for that one. But
Yeah, I'll bring the standings later. Yeah.
but yeah, the Sharks do play the Blue Jackets next, and then they go on to play. I believe it's the Hurricane. No, then it's against the Flyers. They will be playing on Saturday the 3rd, and then on the 6th they will be playing the Minnesota Wild. So these next upcoming games are going to be huge for the Sharks, especially with Jumbo Joe Thornton back in the on his line. So that's going to be something really interesting to see right there. And sending it right back to you, Nathan.
All right. So for the games for tonight, there's only one game on the NHL schedule tonight for you trick or treaters out there, especially in the Vancouver area. The Vancouver Canucks will be taking on the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. The Vancouver Canucks go into this game 7-6-0, and the Chicago Blackhawks are 6-3-3. Moving on to the NHL games for tomorrow, the Sweden or the Finland series between the Winnipeg Jets and the Florida Panthers. Pardon me, I was not Philadelphia Flyers, but yeah, the Jets and the Panthers are in Helsinki, Finland, for a game tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be about 1 o'clock my time. The Jets are 7-4-1, and the Panthers are 2-4-3. And we have a lot of games at 7 and 7:30. First of all, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs playing host to the Dallas Stars. We have the Islanders versus the Penguins, the Senators versus the Sabres, the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Predators, and the Wings playing host to the New Jersey Devils, and the Montreal Canadiens playing the Washington Capitals. At 8 p.m. Eastern, we have the St. Louis Blues taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. At 9 p.m., we have the Edmonton Oilers versus the Chicago Blackhawks. We have the Calgary Flames versus the Colorado Avalanche. The Anaheim Ducks taking on the New York Rangers. And as Tristan was saying before, the Sharks playing host to the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the LA Kings playing host to the Philadelphia Flyers. Moving on to your NHL standings as of today, October 31st. Moving on to the Atlantic Division. I'm just going to go in I guess I could say the top 5 instead of the top 3 like I usually do. So, in first place, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning in first place in that Atlantic Division. They have a record of 8-2-1 for a total of 17 points on the season. And close behind are the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins. They both have 16 points respectively. Toronto has a record of 8-4-0. The Boston Bruins have a record of 7-3-2. And there's a tie for third place in that Atlantic Division between the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres. You never thought I would ever hear I never thought I would talk about the Buffalo Sabres being in a top playoff spot, but you know, both Montreal and Buffalo have 14 points on the season. The Canadiens are 6-3-2, and the Sabres are 6-4-2. Moving on to the Metropolitan Division, the Pittsburgh Penguins have sole possession of first place in that division with a record of 6-2-2. That is a record good enough for 14 points on the season. The New York Islanders and the Carolina Hurricanes are both tied for second place in that division with a record of 6-4-1 for the Islanders, 6-5-1 for the Canes, both good for 13 points. And again, it's another tie for third. This time in the Metro Division, we had the Washington Capitals and the Columbus Blue Jackets both tied at 12 points on the season. The Capitals are 5-3-2, and the Columbus Blue Jackets are 6-5-0. Moving on to the Central Division, we have the best team in the NHL right now. That is the Nashville Predators with a record of 9-3-0. That is, of course, good for 18 points on the season. And close behind, we have the Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild, both tied with 16 points and identical 7-3-2 records. And then the Winnipeg Jets and the Chicago Blackhawks are in a tie for third place with 15 points, respectively. 7-4-1 for the Jets, 6-3-3 for the Blackhawks. And then moving on to your Pacific Division standings, there's a tie for first place in that division. The San Jose Sharks and the Calgary Flames are both tied with 15 points. The Sharks have a 6-3-3 record. The Flames have a 7-5-1 record. The Vancouver Canucks are technically they're in second place, but it says, according to TSN.ca, they are ranked third in the division with a record of 7-6-0 for 14 points. The Edmonton Oilers are the fourth place holder in that division, 6-4-1 for 13 points. And the Arizona Coyotes and the Anaheim Ducks are tied for that fifth spot in that division with a record of 6-5-0 for the Arizona Coyotes and a 5-6-2 for the Anaheim Ducks. Moving on to your stats leaders. As far as points go, Colorado Avalanche forward Mikko Rantanen has 5 goals and 16 assists for 21 points. He leads the league in scoring in that regard. Evgeny Malkin from the Pittsburgh Penguins following close behind with 6 goals and 13 points, or 13 assists for 19 points. I'm going to get that messed up every now and then. Patrice Bergeron from the Boston Bruins also has 19 points. He has 7-12 on the regular season so far. Patrick Kane from the Chicago Blackhawks has 18 points, 11 goals, 7 assists. And then from the Edmonton Oilers, the infamous captain Connor McDavid with a record of 9 goals, 9 assists for 18 points as well. Nathan McKinnon also in that scoring race as well. He also has 18 points. Moving on to your goal leaders for the NHL. There is a tie for first. We have David Pastrnak and Patrick Kane, both with 11 goals on the season. Austin Matthews and Gabriel Landeskog from Toronto and Colorado. They all have 10 points 10 goals, as well as Philip Forsberg from the Nashville Predators. He also has 10 goals on the season. So a lot of good goal scoring for the NHL so far this season. And then moving on to your goaltending stats. Yaroslav Halak obviously improved to 4-0-2 on his regular season. He has a 1.52 goals against and a 947 save percentage. Semyon Varlamov has the second place in terms of goals against with a 1.62. He is 4-2-2 on the regular season. And then Andrei Vasilevsky from the Tampa Bay Lightning has a 1.98 save goals against. Moving on to save percentage, Semyon Varlamov is the highest among that list. He has a 950 save percentage, 947 for Yaroslav Halak, and then a 939 save percentage for David Rittich on the Calgary Flames. So those are your NHL stats, and I want you guys to bear with me. Tristan, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Actually, I was just getting ready for the San Jose Barracuda segment, which I was gonna wait till you were finished with the AHL standings and stuff. But if you want me to, I can go ahead and cover that right now. While you're still getting your other stuff ready to go.
I actually got my scores right here, so if you don't
All right.
mind, yeah.
Yeah, no, go for it, baby.
All right, so obviously you guys know I'm a huge fan of the Manitoba Moose. Obviously, they are the Jets' AHL affiliate. They played the yeah, of course, Manitoba, obviously. They were recently on a road trip in the Wisconsin and Illinois area this past weekend. The first game was played on Sunday, the 28th. They were in Rockford, Illinois, to play the Rockford Ice Hogs. They actually won 2-1 in a shootout. Ty McGinn scores his first goal as a Manitoba Moose. The goal for Rockford was Andrew Campbell. Um, and then Seth Griffith was able to win it in the shootout for the Manitoba Moose. And from last night, the Manitoba Moose were actually in Milwaukee, Wisconsin to take on the 8-1-1 Milwaukee Admirals. They actually defeated them, the Admirals, in overtime by a score of 2-1. Mason Appleton scoring your overtime winner, and Sami Niku scoring a pretty good second period goal. If you guys check the Manitoba Moose's Twitter account, you'll see that goal from Mr. Niku. There are no other games. Actually, wait, no. There are two games tonight in the AHL on this Halloween. Just getting started in Laval, Quebec. The Laval Rocket, the 3-5-1 Laval Rocket, taking on the 4-5-0 Belleville Senators. They just got underway in that regard. And later tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have the Stockton Heat versus the Bakersfield Condors. So that should be a pretty good Pacific Division rival. There actually was a game scheduled for tomorrow between the Texas Stars and the Ontario Reign, but that has been rescheduled to November 2nd. The Stars are the defending Western Conference champions from last season. They are 4-3-1-1, and the Ontario Reign are 1-4-2-1. Moving on to your AHL standings as of
We actually
today, or
We actually got a bit of a quick question in the live stream comments. Can you possibly give us updates on the Cleveland Monsters score and team stats, if you possibly can, or just give us the last game score because we had a viewer in the comments that was asking about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I will definitely see if I can find the last Cleveland Monsters game that was played. Obviously, we have an AHL fan in the comments. Let's see. I believe they may have played on Saturday against the Rockford Ice Hogs. The Cleveland Monsters defeated the Rockford Ice Hogs by a score of 2-1. They now improve to 6-3-1 on the season. Zach Dalpe and Paul Bittner score those goals for the Cleveland Monsters. And if I can get those goalie stats, that would be fantastic. Anton Forsberg made 25 saves on 27 shots. Obviously, he played 58 minutes and 6 seconds of ice time. Matthew Highmore picked up an assist in this one. Also, Carl Dahlstrom. Oh, wait, no, I'm talking about the freaking Rockford Ice Hogs. Pardon me. I'm talking about the wrong team. Matisse, and also, correct me if I'm wrong, Matisse Kivlenikis, I don't even know how to pronounce that. He made 24 saves in this one on 25 shots against. Obviously, Zach Dalpe and Paul Bittner getting those goals. Mark Letestu, Gabriel Carlson, Dylan Sampson all getting assists in those regards. And I was just going to get onto the AHL standings. As of today, let's start off in the North Division. We got the Cleveland Monsters fan in the comments. The Monsters are actually second place in the division with a record of 6-3-1 now, 13 points on the regular season. They are 2 points behind the division leader, the Rochester Americans, at 7-2-1. The Toronto Marlies are 4-4-0. Right now, they have a 9-point effort out of them. The Bennington Devils now have a record of 4-5-1, 9 points on the season for them, and the Belleville Senators follow behind with a 4-5-0 record for 8 points. Moving on to the Atlantic Division, the Charlotte Checkers, I do believe they have the second best record in the AHL with a record of with a record of 8-1-0, 16 points for them on the season. The Springfield Thunderbirds are close behind. They are undefeated in regulation, but they do have 2 shootout losses at 6-0-0-2. The Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins and the Lehigh Valley Phantoms are both tied for third place in that Atlantic Division. The Scranton Penguins are 5-2-0-1, and the Phantoms are 5-3-0-1. Moving on to the Central Division, we have the best team in the AHL, the Milwaukee Admirals, picking up the pity point last night against the Manitoba Moose. They now improved to a record of 8-1-2 for a total of 18 points. The Blackhawks, the Chicago Wolves, they now have a record of 6-2-0-1 for 13 points. The Iowa Wild, Texas Stars, and the Manitoba Moose are all tied. And actually, the Rockford Ice Hogs, 4 teams in that Central Division, all have 10 points on the regular season. So obviously, that Central Division is going to be a dogfight to get that last position. The Moose, with the couple wins over the weekend, improved to a record of 5-4-0. So obviously, it's a very good start for the Moose there. And the Pacific Division, to wrap up the AHL standings, the San Jose Barracuda have a record of 7-1-0-1 for a record of 15 points. The Tucson Roadrunners follow close behind with a record of 6-1-0-1 for 13 points. And the newest team in the AHL, the Colorado Eagles, have a record of 4-2-2-0 for 10 points. The San Diego Gulls are 3-2-1-1 for 8 points. And the Stockton Heat, who play tonight, look to go 500. They're currently 3-4-1-0. Moving on to your AHL scoring leaders. If it can just load up here. All right. So in first place, as far as points go, Victor Olofsson still has the league lead in scoring with 15 points for the Rochester Americans. Following close behind is his Rochester American teammate, defenseman Zach Redmond. He has 14 points, 6 goals, 8 assists for him. Olofsson has 5 and 10. Phil Varone from the Lehigh Valley Phantoms also has 14 points, tying for second place with 3 goals and 11 assists. Lawrence Pilot from the Rochester Americans has 2 goals and 11 assists for 13 points. Obviously, with that stacked Rochester team, also including some names like Alex Nylander as well. Obviously, there should be a lot of scoring on this list. And rounding out the top 5, we have Reed Boucher from the Utica Comets with a 12-point season so far, a marker of 9 and 3. That's 9 goals and 3 assists. Unfortunately, no Manitoba Moose people in the top scorers, but it is what it is. Moving on to the AHL goal leaders, if I can just bring that up real quick. Reed Boucher and Brooks Machek, Utica Comets and Chicago Wolves all have 9 goals on the season. 7 goals for the Cleveland Monsters, Zach Dolpe and Trevor Moore from the Toronto Marlies. 7 goals for them. And I do believe, if I'm reading this correctly, there are 7 players who all have 6 goals. So Matt Donovan from the Milwaukee Admirals, Dennis Gurianov from the Texas Stars, Gage Quincy from the Chicago Wolves, Anthony Richard from the Milwaukee Admirals, Nick Lappin from the Bennington Devils, and Liam O'Brien from the Hershey Bears all have 6 goals in the regular season. And now we're going to be moving on to your AHL goaltending stats. Matisse Kivlenix has a .5 goals against average. He now has 1 shutout in his career at a 2-0. Mikhail Burden, actually a new Manitoba Moose goaltender. He actually had to start the past couple of games. He has a .94 save percentage with a couple wins, obviously under his belt. Scott Darling, who is actually inactive right now from the Charlotte Checkers, he has a perfect 1 goals against average in that regard. And again, this is going to be another one that Tristan likes. Antoine Bibeau from the San Jose Barracuda has a 1.75 goals against average.
Bebo is life. Bebo is life. Bebo is life.
All right, moving on to your save percentage leaders. The top 3 are Kiv Lennox, Mikhail Burden, and Scott Darling. They all have 982, 970, and 962 save percentages, respectively. Former Moose goaltender Michael Hutchinson has a 957 save percentage, and then Antoine Bibeau has a 940 save percentage. And actually, if we look farther down the list, the 17th best goalie in the league right now in terms of save percentage, Mantle Moose goaltender Eric Comrie. He's played 5 games. He is now 1-0 so far this season with a 917 goals against. He is tied with Stuart Skinner from the Bakersfield Condors and Philip Gustafson from the Belleville Senators. So that is, I believe that's it for your NHL and AHL coverage. Tristan, if you want to say any last words, I will.
Yep. I'll actually be going ahead and getting started with my San Jose Barracuda. That's Heart right there with the song Barracuda. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and get started with the Barracuda segment. But before I do that, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. This is obviously Halloween night that we're doing this. A lot of you guys are out or getting ready to head out to go trick-or-treating or pass out candy, because it is almost 8 Eastern time in the East Coast. It is almost 5 o'clock here in California. However, there's still a lot of Barracuda coverage to go left, like what Nathan said before. The Texas Stars, with all their good players that they have, the San Jose Barracuda played the Dallas Stars on October 27th and beat them 6-1. The game recap was scored by was 2 goals by the San Jose Barracuda in the first period by itself, and then heading off to the not I wouldn't say really the bottom of the period, but the Texas Stars. Excuse me, guys. The Texas Stars scored 1 goal and only 1 goal throughout the entire game, and that first goal was in the first period. And then the San Jose Barracuda capitalized the score, and it became 4-0 in the second period, making it the final score of 6-1 in favor of your San Jose Barracuda. The next game that the San Jose Barracuda will be playing will be at the SAP Center, aka the Tank, versus the San Antonio Rampage. That will be played on Friday, November 2nd. So they'll be pretty much on this Friday versus the San Antonio Rampage. And on November 5th, Monday, November 5th, I will be at that game to watch the San Jose Barracuda play the Stockton Heat. That game starts at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And Friday of the San Jose Barracuda and the San Jose Sharks. Nathan back on here. So we actually have a little bit of a giveaway to go do for you guys. Not really saying that you guys will participate, but you guys can and be more than happy to. So I have a 2018 or 2019, I should say, NHL All-Star Game puck that has not been used, but they've released it at the SAP Center. And you can't buy this online at all. You have to go to the SAP Center to go buy this. But I have 2 game pucks, or All-Star Game issued pucks, to give away. All you have to do is tell your friends, Tell your family, tell your loved ones to follow us on social media, subscribe to us on YouTube, and join us on Discord. If you do 3 of the 4 things that I just repeated, which I will repeat again, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and on, if you can, on Discord. Like our videos and subscribe to us on YouTube. If you can do all that for us by, what would you say, Nathan, like November 9th? By Friday, November 9th, we will be giving that lucky person not just 1 puck away, but 2 pucks away. So if you actually participate and have the most followers join us, then we will be sending you these 2 pucks and a postcard from Behind the Play Podcasting, aka myself, because I'm mailing it from California. But anyway, we will be. So this will conclude our stream on our YouTube. So thank you guys for joining us on the stream on YouTube. However, we will be going on our Discord and on Twitch.com or Twitch TV, so I can stream the rest of the New York Yankees versus Toronto Blue Jays PS4 game coverage. Right now, from the last time I stopped this about an hour and a half ago, the New York Yankees lead the Toronto Blue Jays 4-0 with 9 runs, or with 9 hits, 5 for the Blue Jays, 4 runs for the Yankees, nothing for the Blue Jays. So Nathan, if you want to go ahead and say any last words, we'll end this and switch over to Twitch.
All right. So obviously, Tristan stole the words out of my mouth because he does that.
Thanks. Thanks.
But yeah, enter the giveaway for those 2019 All-Star Game pucks. All you got to do is obviously like this video, comment down in the comment section down below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Discord and on social media. The links will be in the description down below if Tristan can get those up. And yeah, by November 9th, we should have a couple winners for that giveaway. So yeah. But however, you can only enter once. We're going to say we can only enter once, just so we don't have like a bunch of like 1-person entries. So only vote once in the comments section down below. We will be giving those away on November 9th. Obviously, this community is growing. Obviously, our Discord server is happy and healthy right now. Again, the links to the Discord will be in the description down below. We always give you guys up-to-date news on our Instagram at Behind the Play Podcasting, and also on Twitter at _BehindThePlay_. You guys can go follow the links, of course. And I say this again, down in the description box down below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll continue to bring the most up-to-date news in the world of sports, in the NHL, AHL, and now NFL. And I'm hoping to actually bring you guys some CFL football coverage. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are going to be in the 2018 Grey Cup playoffs. I will hopefully have some news regarding that. But that is going to do it for this stream, ladies and gentlemen. We really hope you did enjoy. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and comment to subscribe down below if you've already done so. Comment to enter that giveaway, obviously. And yeah, until our next stream, guys. This has been Nathan and Tristan from Behind the Play Podcasting, and we will see you guys in the next stream. Peace,
actually, we had one more thing before we end it, but thank you, Nathan, for that anyway. If you did not know, we are switching over to Twitch TV, which we will have our link posted. Actually, I'll go ahead and put that link in the comments right now, because we'll be switching over, moving over to Discord, and then I'll be streaming on Twitch TV for about maybe a good 45 minutes to an hour, at least until the trick-or-treaters come around. Again, this community is growing. We are getting bigger as the days go by. And if you want to join us on Twitch, we will be continuing a Q&A session. Yes, we will be taking your questions and comments, and we'll be reading them aloud and having conversations over them. And if you just want to jump in to watch and have some fun, go for it. Me and Nathan will be here for a little bit. I don't know for how long, but we'll be on Twitch and on Discord. And if you want to tweet us, make sure you use the hashtag behind the play Q&A. Q-N-A, not the and, Q-N-A, because that's what we'll go by. But again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys on Twitch and on Discord. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on social media. Till next time, guys, we will see you next time. Thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your guys' Halloween. Stay safe out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace.